edition of GPL 357. The regular season is done as dusted. The finalists have been decided, and we're here to look at what the next 4 weeks entail. The run to the premiership title right through the middle of winter. It's a massive panel to talk us through this today. On my left, far left, we have the man behind the bar, Scotty. G'day, Scotty.
G'day, Tone. G'day, viewers.
Just to my left, immediate left, we have the captain of the Wood Ducks, Matty Sellers.
G'day, Kraz.
And on my right, as always, the man who has the eloquent tones, sees the performer in front of that TV, the ex-corruptible himself, Darren Cowell.
I'm next time.
Yes, you were ex, they didn't win, but we'll get to that later on. What we'll do is we'll talk about last week's round 15. We'll have a chat about the Survivor and how that all ended up, and then we'll look at this week's knockout matches and finally piece together what's going to happen in the premiership finals. So let's start with last weekend. Scotty, who have you got up there?
First, I've got the Ferrets and the Wanderers, and both teams were true to form. The Ferrets were excellent, the Wanderers were terrible. Good scoring by the Ferrets with a 180. Easily accounted for the Wanderers, who are looking forward to their Mad Monday.
Oh, they certainly are. F-Trooper Wally World, Matty.
Yeah, Wally World continued their really good form of the year, just cementing that position at second on the ladder for the finals, beating a pretty good F-Troop, to be honest. They had a really good year and they finished in the finals, so I'm sure they'll be a force to be reckoned with. But Wally World were too good on the day.
Yeah, they certainly were. I had the Buglers against the Gunners. Now, the Buglers clearly have shut up shop. Word has it they're concentrating now on the knockout. The event that they've always said means nothing. That's how good their year's going, and so that's all they've got to play for. The Gunners just were miles too good anyway. They didn't turn up and they didn't need to. What about you, DC?
I had the top of the table all-night chemist up against the Sewer Rats. The Rats needing to win this one to guarantee a place in the 8. The Rats started off with a 39. First up in the morning from Roddy Pfeiffer's. All-night chemist only had 7 players on the park for the day. So this was the unlosable game for the Rats. And somehow they found a way to choke it up, Jana Novotny style. End up losing by 2 points in a season-ending, demoralising loss. And one you just think, if you still look back and think, how did they possibly lose that game?
I must admit, they had it on their racket and they missed the ball, unfortunately, the old Rats. Devastating. Scotty, what about you, mate?
Well, I had the Vultures and Back Nine Mafia. Back Nine Mafia probably had a few things they had to sort out on Saturday. And beautifully led by their captain, Mr. Kaput, Kerry
Captain's
Georgia.
knock.
Captain's knock, brilliant play by Kerry. But look, basically they had real no opposition. The Ferrets were with the worst score of a completed team of 151. An easy win to the Back Nine Mafia.
Matty?
I've got the Tunners and the Trident, so that was another scintillating clash, with the winner of that still being a chance for the finals at the time. And the Tunners got over in a really, really close one, 169 to 168, which kept their slim chances alive at the time, but it was going to come down to percentages to see who made the finals. And that leads nicely on to Kraz's next game.
Well, the other team well in the mix was the Wood Ducks, and they were up against the Wolfpack, who also failed to show. So it did seem to make the Wood Ducks a little bit easier, but they did rely on the magnificence of the Back Nine Mafia to get the percentage boost they needed. So the Wood Ducks on 170 was good enough, led ably by their captain. It was the day of captain stocks, 39 points, 68 now it is. In the morning was a cracking round of golf, and led the Wood Ducks firmly into 8th place and into the finals. DC, who have you got?
Phoenix and Corruptibles. So Phoenix pretty much couldn't move from 5th spot. There was a slight chance to go up to the 4th, but they had 5th covered, up against the Corruptibles, who probably had their eye on the Survivor prize of the day. Phoenix 169, Corruptibles 175. So a comfortable win to the Corruptibles. Unlucky to not make the finals this year. They had a few close losses, and probably comfortably the best team outside the 8.
Well, that will be measured in the knockouts. So it did mean that the Tunners and the Sewer Rats, who were in the 8, dropped out, and the Back Nine Mafia and Wood Ducks have found themselves into the July action. So we now will turn ourselves to the first grand final of the year, and that was the Team Survivor Cup. In round 15, the 2 teams left to go was the Back Nine Mafia and your team, the Corruptibles DC. And I must admit, the Back Nine Mafia were magnificent, truly. Playing in the morning, the hardest conditions. 182 was a score which was always going to be hard to beat. And the Corruptibles were valiant, but their 175 just didn't get it done. So the Back Nine Mafia now winning their third trophy. And it makes me wonder if the curse of Scrapper McLeod is lingering. Was Wally World thought they'd knock that off, but Wally World's gain may have ended up being Corruptibles' pain here. What can you say?
Well, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I think the Corruptibles will be very happy with their performance on the day. 175, if you had offered them that first thing Saturday morning with the conditions, they probably would have taken it. 182 was just a bridge too far for them. Great scoring by the Back Nine Mafia. Probably first time in the Survivor final, they walked off with the silverware. They made the finals a couple of years ago and just breezed through it. So Back Nine Mafia now, once again, I'm going to call them favourites, premiership favourites.
I must admit, the Mafia, they've won now the Premiership, the Team Survivor and the Knockout. They've won the three. They've had 3 grand final appearances for 3 wins. They seem to have the metal when it counts. What do you reckon, Scotty?
Yeah, they've been terribly unlucky all season, except for on Saturday. We were joking about it on Saturday afternoon that the couple was going to come with 240s to knock them off, but that's been the pattern of their season. But it wasn't to be this week. I think they're going to be very tough to beat in the finals. Good finals team by the look of it, with the Scrapper McLeod and the captain, Georgie's favourite player. Georgie Grossi's favourite player. So, interesting for the finals for them, but yes, good win to the Back Nine Mafia.
Was yeah. So DC, how did the Corruptibles pick themselves up after this shattering defeat?
I guess we can probably look at it in the last 2 years where they haven't got past the first round of the Survivor and look at this as progress and think that we've still got the knockout to play for this coming week. We've just missed the finals, made the grand final and another thing. So 2 decent cracks at silverware and 1 more to play for.
You just got to think, well, the one question I'm left thinking is if you had been there, would it have been a different story? Would the Corruptibles be sitting in front there with that nice looking trophy?
I think if you go back through the record books, the 2 years before I was drafted, they won the Survivor, which meant they've gone probably 30 weeks in a row without being knocked out and made to the 14th week this week. So I've played 2 years. We've been knocked out twice in the first round, and outside of that, they've got a 44 win streak going. So I'm not sure my contribution is going to make that much of a difference to them.
Yes, you might be telling the truth there, DC. It's amazing, but yeah, tremendous effort by the Back Nine Mafia in a really difficult cold conditions. It was a cracking score, which was always going to be tough to beat. So anyway, so now we've got the Team Survivor done. We'll cut our attention to the knockout. The knockout, as everyone knows, runs to the teams. The Mr. Finalists have a chance to put their hand up and maybe get themselves over the line for what is considered number 2 trophy. So, Scotty, who have you got?
I've got F Troop and the Gummers. Predicted scores are fairly close. Look, I'm not a fan of F Troop. They proved to me on Saturday that they can't handle the pressure when it's at its hottest. So I think it'll be an easy win to the Gummers on Saturday with their strike power of led by Shane McCarthy.
Matty?
I've got the Corruptibles and the Wolfpack, so the Corruptibles with that chance to pick up a bit of silverware that they didn't get in the Survivor. I think this one's purely up to the Wolfpack. If they turn up with more than 7 players, they've got such a great team on paper that is just so suited to winter golf. Lots of low markers. I think if they really turn up with more than 7 or 8 players, they'll give the Corruptibles a good run for their money.
Yeah, they should be good. I've got the Phoenix against the Vultures. The Phoenix are predicted to win this easily, and I also predict that's going to happen. The Vultures have struggled all year, and I can't see them turning it around in winter. DC?
I've got the Rats and Back Nine Mafia. So after their deplorable loss on Saturday, the Rats, you'd think they've got 6 months of pre-season to stew over the way they've exited the finals. Well, they've actually only got 6 days, and then they can get retribution by a team from the team that took their place in the 8 in the big finals, and try and find a way to recover some form of their reputation through the knockout stages. Predicted scoring has Mafia comfortably winning this one. So the Rats, we talked about captain's knocks. The Rats severely missing their captain who's been injured all of this year.
He has been struggling for us. Scotty?
Yeah, I've got the Wanderers and the Tridents. These scores look interesting. I can't believe these scores are true. But anyway, I think it's going to be, 173 to 174. I think it's going to be much easier for the Tridents. They're a very competitive side. Conditions will favour them. They're majority afternoon players. So I reckon the Tridents easily.
Don't forget the algorithm that works out these predicted scores is ironclad fact, Scotty. So they're just dealing with facts there. Who you got there, Matty?
I've got the Bugles and the Ferrets, the old enemies, so to speak, but obviously had very different seasons. We'll see if the Buglers are actually here to play in this knockout. The Ferrets are predicted to win quite comfortably. I think they will. They're obviously playing in the normal finals as well, so they'll be up and about and ready to go, and we'll see if the Buglers turn up.
Yeah, they're shell-shocked, the Bugs. I can't see them doing any good. I've got the Tunners against the Chemists. The Chemists have been taking all before them, and so the Tunners are going to hit them when it really hurts. The Tunners have been valiant all year. They've been in and around the 8, but unfortunately they're hitting the Chemists, who are in a position which I've never seen before. They are purring with every cylinder, and I expect them to continue to purr on and knock the Tunners out for good this year.
I've got Wood Ducks and Wally World, so a battle of two teams going very well this year. Wally World just keep on keeping on. I mean, I think they draw straws at the start of Saturday morning to see who's going to have 39 points. They're going that strong. They can even afford to rest their captain last Saturday. Wood Ducks have done well to get into the finals. I think if they get all 11 on their field, they're much talked about number one draft pick that's been barely on the park for half the season, but if he can somehow come out and light it up, it might give them a bit of a kickstart in the morning, but they'll have to everything go their way to get over Wally World. I think Wally World in a tight one.
Yeah, having a predicted score over 180 at this time of the season is astounding. So that leaves just one more thing to go through, and that is the actual finals. This is for the Premiership, and these are the big ones. And so 1v4, the winner of this goes through to the prelims. The loser will continue and live again. And the Chemists are playing the Ferrets. As you'd expect, this is going to be a ripping match, guys. The Chemists 175, the Ferrets 179. Who do you reckon's going to win this, Scotty?
Well, the Ferrets are a strong scoring team. They've been pretty good now for, I reckon, about the last 18, probably last year and a bit in all competitions, including late 2016, where their scores started to improve. But the Chemists seem to keep winning. They find ways. Even last week, they should never have won that match, but found a way to be 2 points in front. So, yeah, the scores say the Ferrets win, but it's hard to go past the Chemists.
Interesting.
What do you reckon?
I'm going to go the Ferrets. They seem to turn up in the finals and find an extra gear. The Chemists in their first final series for a while. Obviously, lots of new draft picks, just not used to the finals action, under the finals pressure, so to speak. I think the Ferrets will get up in this one, but it will be a pretty close one.
What are you again, DC?
I think it's going to be pretty close, as Scotty said, as the boy said. But Ferrets are normally very strong in finals times. The all-night Chemists, it's a little bit of an unknown factor as to how they'll perform in such a big game. But their scoring all year has been solid. I think if we can send an SOS out to find where Will Green and Graham Pallow are, and those boys both turn up, I think the Chemists can win this one.
Well, I must admit, the Chemists, talking of pressure, they've been utilising a little bit of pressure downstairs thanks to David Stefsey's. They've got their little tights on. It helps keep them warm. The compression is obviously working a treat for them, and I think that is the secret to the Chemists, without question. It just takes them a while to get them on, but once they're on, they turn into superstars. So anyway, I predict that Chemists will get up over the Ferrets and continue on. The loser of that match will be playing the winner of this, the Phoenix against the Wood Ducks. The Wood Ducks just creeping into the 8 by the barest of margins. Have to see, Matt, how are you guys going to get it done?
Well, I reckon we'll get it done. We're going to have 11 this week. I can almost guarantee it. Marky Wallace was the only one who was a little bit iffy, and he's now going to play it at 7:30 in the morning. We've got a full team on the park, barring no injuries or sickness, and I think we've got one of the more talented lists out there, and we'll get the job done and really start this roll onto the finals.
Scotty?
Yeah, Phoenix have been exceptional this year and thoroughly deserved their 5th spot on the ladder. Finished a game ahead of the Wood Ducks only, but I think they really do deserve their 5th position. But I do tend to agree with Matty with the scoring power of the Wood Ducks. If they do have all 11, I think they will get the chocolates.
Yeah, it's hard to pick. Really strong performance from the Phoenix this year. They started off the year well, and I don't think they were out of the top 8 the entire season. A couple of their recruits, John Harvey and Matt Pearson, have both been really solid for them all year. Guys like Georgie Megaludis, Paul Sarong have had good solid seasons. Wood Ducks, again, they've probably got a better list on paper. It might even just come down to the battle between the 2 marquee players, Matt Pearson and captain over here, Matt Sellers. And I guess maybe with the extra T in his name, that might help him get an extra couple of points. And it might be just enough for the Wood Ducks to win this one, maybe just by 1 point.
Yeah, just by the one. Well, I'm actually going to go against you guys. I think the Phoenix have been doing it consistently all year, and I think Matt Pearson has been the real key to the Phoenix. His consistency's really helped them bounce. Helped them bounce. Harry's back. He's playing. The Wood Ducks have the ability to be fantastic, but are just a little bit flaky from week to week. So we'll just see how we go. If you play well, I'm sure the Wood Ducks good enough, but the Phoenix consistency, I think, might count in the dead of winter.
We'll turn up.
It really will. So the next major thing, Wally World are against the Gummers. These are 2 that have been giants of the premiership over the years. The Gummers certainly back from a couple of years where they haven't been what they have been. Wally World's 181 predicted to win by 6 over the Gummers. What do you reckon, Scotty?
They're also playing for table 7. These 2 teams know what that is. At lunchtime on Saturdays. Gummers have been very good. They've returned to where they should be. They've had 2 disappointing seasons, but this year they've been back. But the scoring power of Wally World, it's been very, very in tough conditions, I might add as well. So it's too hard to go past Wally World for this one.
Yeah, I'm the same. Wally World, they've just got across the board scoring power. The Gummers have left it to a few, and they've been incredible, I might add, this year. But I think just the total full team of Wally World will get over the Gummers in this one.
DC?
Yeah, everything points to Wally World, but the Gummers have had a cracking season, and we all know what happens if Wally World lose this one, where it leads to next week. So will they be thinking a week ahead? Will they be trying to avoid the curse? So I'm standing on the first tee and thinking, if I play this shot poorly, it leads us to the curse. I mean, to go through that for 18 holes, 4.5 hours on the golf course, that might be enough for Wally World just to take their eye off the prize a little bit, and the Gummers could sneak through and claim a little bit of an upset win here. So you've got to keep the dream alive. I'll take the Gummers in this one.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this, and I agree with you wholeheartedly, because if Wally World lose this, they could face up straight into the eyes of the back nine mafia. The curse of Scruffin McLeod will be back in town, and it will be devastating for them.
So losing table 9,
Table
7, and straight into the curse. I mean, that's just 2 weeks of absolute pressure that they're going to deal with.
It does mean there's going to be some sleepless nights ahead for them. It'll be interesting to see how they get through that. So yeah, I think the Gummers will be too strong, because Wally World will just be a writhing wreck by the end of this week. So they will, whoever loses this, who we're predicting Wally World, will be up against the winner of F Trooper Back Nine Mafia, the other piece of this puzzle that has to happen. I don't believe F Troop are having a lunch on Friday, which is not good news, Scotty.
No, that's normally their good luck charm. Their Friday lunches. The way you're talking, then, boys, I didn't think there was a game going on between F Troop and Back Nine Mafia. I thought Back Nine had already won.
What, are you going to jump on them now?
No. Look, their scoring power has been very strong and late. Like their 178 predictor is a fantastic score this time of year. I think they've been over 180 the last 3 weeks. So I don't think F Troop have got that scoring ability to get over a 180. So I'll think back 9 Mafia.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there, Scotty. They're a clutch team. It's been proven time and time again. They've got all 3 trophies and they'll be looking for more. Led obviously by KG, but the morning hitter Ian Carroll and Johnny Tulty have just been ripping it up. At least one Carroll's playing well at the moment, and I think they'll just continue on their merry way.
I think DC's playing better not playing, DC.
I'd like to clarify that I don't think my dad's played to his handicap all year. So in that lineup of back 9 Mafia, the tail enders of Tulty, Mandy, and Carroll. I think Tulty and Mandy have contributed, and if they just get Carroll to contribute, they certainly will come down in the betting for the flag. As far as F Troop goes, yeah, they're I think last week in their team one player hit another player with a golf ball and then fell into a flower bed. So they're not combining well at the moment, the F Troopers. And in terms of on a Saturday medal day, I think Back 9 Mafia just got a couple more low markers that can make the difference as the course plays a little bit longer in winter. So Back 9 Mafia, I mean, they'd already trying to book their spot into that first semi with Wally World. I think they're already thinking about who they're going to play in the preliminary.
Yeah, well, I must admit, someone from F Troop falling in the flower bed gives the impression that these lunches are back on. There's no doubt, because they do have long lunches when they go. They have been told to play like they are having a long lunch, so a little bit of mental preparation, but I don't think it's enough. I think Mafia will get up and set up one of the great matches next in 2 weeks' time if they're playing Wally World. Guys, so that is it. All is said and done. The regular season's done. The team survivor is already in the Back 9 Mafia's hip pocket. Thank you very much for coming on and giving your version of events and predictions on what's going to happen. Don't forget, everyone, if you want to win this thing, now is the time. You really need to turn up and play well. This has been GPL 357, and we'll see you on Saturday.